What you're about to see is one of the greatest transformations in nature. In just 40 weeks, a single microscopic cell becomes a fully formed baby with a beating heart, a developing brain, tiny fingers, working lungs, and the ability to recognize familiar voices. How does something so incredibly complex happen? Over the next 30 minutes, you'll witness every stage of this extraordinary journey through realistic 3D animation and the science of human development. From the first cell to the moment of birth, this is the complete journey of life before birth. Let's begin. Week 1. Technically, during week 1, you are not actually pregnant yet. Doctors count pregnancy from the first day of your last menstrual period, even though conception hasn't occurred. Inside the ovaries, several follicles begin maturing. Each follicle contains an egg. Meanwhile, the uterus prepares for a possible pregnancy by developing a fresh lining rich in blood vessels and nutrients. Although there is no baby yet, your body is already laying the foundation for new life. Week 2. During week 2, ovulation approaches. One mature egg is released from the ovary and enters the fallopian tube. This egg is now waiting for fertilization. The egg itself is incredibly small, about the size of a grain of sand. For approximately 24 hours, fertilization is possible. If a sperm successfully reaches and penetrates the egg, a brand new human life begins. Week 3. This is the week conception usually occurs. When one sperm successfully enters the egg, their genetic material combines. The result is a single cell called a zygote. Although it consists of only one cell, this zygote already contains all the genetic information needed to determine eye color, hair color, biological sex, height potential, and countless other characteristics. As the zygote travels down the fallopian tube, it rapidly divides. One cell becomes 2, 2 become 4, 4 become 8. Soon, dozens of cells form a tiny cluster known as a morula. This remarkable journey marks the very beginning of your baby's life. Week 4. By week 4, the developing embryo reaches the uterus. The cluster of cells is now called a blastocyst. It attaches itself to the uterine wall through a process known as implantation. This connection allows nutrients and oxygen to pass from mother to baby. The embryo is approximately 2 millimeters long. That's about the size of a poppy seed. Although tiny, important structures are already beginning to form. The amniotic sac develops. The placenta begins taking shape. The foundations of the nervous system start emerging. At this stage, many women don't yet realize they're pregnant. Week 5. Week 5 marks a major developmental milestone. The embryo now resembles a tiny tadpole. It measures roughly 2 to 3 millimeters. The neural tube begins forming. This structure will eventually develop into the brain and spinal cord. The primitive heart also starts developing. Although it is not yet fully formed, the earliest cardiac cells begin organizing into a structure capable of producing rhythmic contractions. The foundations for the circulatory system are now present. Life is accelerating at an astonishing pace. Week 6. During week 6, one of the most exciting milestones occurs. The heart begins beating. Although tiny and simple compared to a mature heart, it can often be detected using ultrasound. The embryo measures approximately 4 to 6 millimeters. Small buds emerge along the sides of the body. These will eventually become arms and legs. Tiny dark spots appear where eyes will develop. Openings begin forming that will later become ears. The brain grows rapidly, developing into distinct regions. Every minute, thousands of new cells are being created. Week 7. By week 7, your baby measures around 1 centimeter. The head grows significantly larger than the rest of the body. This happens because the brain is developing at an extraordinary rate. Arm buds lengthen. Hand plates begin forming. Tiny indentations appear where fingers will eventually separate. The liver starts producing blood cells. Kidneys begin forming. The digestive system starts taking shape. Although still very small, your baby now possesses many of the structures needed for future growth. Week 8. Week 8 is often considered the end of the embryonic period. Your baby now measures approximately 1.5 centimeters. Tiny fingers become more visible. Leg buds continue growing. The eyes are developing beneath thin layers of skin. The upper lip begins forming. Small movements may occur inside the womb, although they are far too gentle for the mother to feel. Nearly every major organ system has now started developing. From this point forward, growth and refinement become the primary focus. Week 9. Congratulations! Your baby is now officially called a fetus. The tail-like structure present during earlier development disappears. The body becomes more human in appearance. The head remains proportionally large, but facial features become easier to recognize. The heart now has 4 chambers. Blood circulates throughout the body. Tiny toes begin forming. The fetus measures approximately 2.5 centimeters. This is about the size of a grape. Week 10. Week 10 brings further refinement. The fingers separate completely. Tiny fingernails begin developing. The ears continue moving toward their final position. The jawbone forms. The neck becomes more distinct. Although still impossible to feel, your baby is becoming increasingly active. Small kicks, stretches, and twists occur regularly. All major organs are present, though many still require further development. Week 11. At week 11, your baby measures around 4 centimeters. The face becomes more recognizable. The eyes move closer together. External ears become more defined. The bones begin hardening. Muscles continue developing. The fetus practices swallowing amniotic fluid. Reflexes become stronger. If touched, the fetus may respond with movement. These movements remain invisible to the mother, but represent important neurological development. Week 12. Week 12 marks the end of the first trimester. Your baby is approximately 5 to 6 centimeters long. Fingerprints begin forming. The kidneys start producing urine. The digestive system becomes more active. The vocal cords develop. Although your baby cannot cry yet, the structures required for future sounds are now present. The risk of miscarriage decreases significantly after this stage. For many parents, reaching week 12 is a major milestone. Week 13. Welcome to the second trimester. Growth accelerates dramatically. Your baby now measures roughly 7 centimeters. The body begins catching up to the head. Bones continue strengthening. The intestines move into their proper position inside the abdomen. The fetus can make facial expressions. Although these expressions are involuntary, they reveal increasing complexity in muscle development. Week 14. Week 14 brings exciting changes. Fine hair called lanugo begins covering the body. This soft hair helps regulate body temperature and protect delicate skin. Facial muscles become more coordinated. The fetus may squint, frown, or smile. The thyroid gland starts functioning. The baby measures approximately 8 to 9 centimeters. The appearance becomes increasingly human. Week 15. At week 15, the skeleton continues hardening. Legs grow longer than arms. The fetus becomes increasingly mobile. The skin remains thin and translucent. Blood vessels are visible beneath the surface. Taste buds begin developing. Your baby may respond differently to flavors present in amniotic fluid. The sensory world is beginning to expand. Week 16. Week 16 is often when some mothers begin noticing early movements. These sensations are sometimes described as butterflies or gentle flutters. The fetus measures approximately 11 centimeters. The eyes and ears approach their final positions. Facial expressions become more sophisticated. Muscles strengthen. Coordination improves. The baby spends much of the day moving, stretching, and practicing reflexes. Week 17. Body fat begins developing beneath the skin. This fat will later help regulate temperature and provide energy after birth. The skeleton continues maturing. The umbilical cord becomes thicker and stronger. The heart pumps increasing amounts of blood every day. The baby measures approximately 13 centimeters. Growth remains rapid. Week 18. Week 18 is a remarkable stage. The ears become fully positioned. Your baby may now hear sounds from outside the womb. The mother's heartbeat, digestive sounds, and voice create a constant soundtrack. The nervous system continues forming complex connections. The fetus practices sucking and swallowing. Many parents undergo an anatomy scan around this time. This ultrasound provides a detailed look at development. Week 19. A protective coating called vernix caseosa begins covering the skin. This waxy substance helps shield the fetus from prolonged exposure to amniotic fluid. Sensory development accelerates. The brain forms specialized areas responsible for sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. The baby measures approximately 15 centimeters. Every day brings increasing sophistication. Week 20. Halfway there, at 20 weeks, your baby measures around 25 centimeters from head to heel. Tiny eyebrows and eyelashes become visible. Hair grows on the scalp. The heartbeat is strong enough to be heard using specialized instruments. Movement becomes more coordinated. Many mothers can now clearly feel kicks and stretches. Although only halfway through pregnancy, your baby already looks remarkably human. Now your pregnancy enters the second half. Your baby has grown from a single microscopic cell into a tiny human being complete with arms, legs, fingers, toes, organs, and a beating heart. But the most dramatic changes are still ahead. During the second half of pregnancy, your baby will rapidly gain weight, develop senses, recognize sounds, practice breathing, open their eyes, dream during sleep, and prepare for life outside the womb. Every week brings incredible transformations. Let's continue the journey. Week 21. At 21 weeks, your baby measures approximately 27 centimeters from head to heel and weighs around 360 grams. Although still quite small, your baby's appearance is becoming increasingly recognizable. The skin remains thin and slightly transparent. Beneath the skin, blood vessels create a reddish appearance. The digestive system is becoming more active. Your baby regularly swallows amniotic fluid. This fluid passes through the digestive tract, helping the intestines practice their future function. Inside the bone marrow, blood cell production is increasing. This marks an important shift as the body prepares to take over functions previously performed by other developing organs. Tiny movements are becoming stronger. What once felt like gentle flutters now begins to feel like definite kicks and rolls. For many parents, these movements create the first truly tangible connection with the baby growing inside the womb. Week 22. This week, your baby weighs approximately 430 grams. The face becomes more refined. Lips are clearly visible. The nose develops a more defined shape. The eyelids are formed but remain closed. Beneath those eyelids, the eyes continue developing. The pancreas begins producing hormones that will help regulate blood sugar after birth. The brain continues an extraordinary period of growth. Millions of new neural connections are being formed. These connections create the foundation for learning, memory, movement, and sensory perception. Your baby is becoming increasingly responsive to external stimulation. Loud sounds may trigger movement. Gentle pressure against the abdomen may also produce a reaction. The world outside the womb is slowly becoming part of your baby's experience. Week 23. At 23 weeks, your baby weighs approximately half a kilogram. This week represents a significant milestone. Although survival outside the womb remains extremely difficult at this stage, modern medicine has occasionally helped babies born around this age survive. The lungs are developing rapidly. Tiny air sacs called alveoli begin forming. These structures will eventually allow oxygen to enter the bloodstream after birth. The skin remains wrinkled because body fat is still limited. However, important layers are gradually forming beneath the surface. The ears become increasingly sensitive. Your baby can now hear sounds with greater clarity. The mother's voice, heartbeat, breathing patterns, and even music may be recognized. Many researchers believe these early auditory experiences contribute to bonding long before birth. Week 24. Welcome to Viability Week. At 24 weeks, your baby measures approximately 30 centimeters and weighs around 600 grams. The lungs continue producing surfactant. This remarkable substance prevents the tiny air sacs from collapsing during breathing. Without surfactant, normal breathing after birth would be impossible. Fingerprints are now fully formed. These unique patterns will remain unchanged for life. The skin still appears translucent. Blood vessels remain visible beneath the surface. The face looks increasingly mature. If you could see your baby now, you would recognize many of the same features that will be present after birth. Sleep cycles are becoming more organized. Periods of activity alternate with periods of rest. Your baby is developing a daily rhythm. Week 25. At 25 weeks, growth continues steadily. The baby now weighs approximately 700 grams. Hair begins growing more noticeably on the scalp. Individual strands become easier to identify. The balance centers of the inner ear continue developing. These structures help your baby understand orientation and movement. Although floating within the amniotic fluid, your baby is already learning concepts related to balance. The hands are becoming increasingly coordinated. The baby may grasp the umbilical cord, touch the face, or explore nearby body parts. These movements help strengthen muscles and improve neurological control. The womb has become a fascinating environment filled with opportunities for practice and learning. Week 26. At 26 weeks, your baby approaches 35 centimeters in length. One of the most exciting milestones occurs this week. The eyes begin opening for the first time. For months, the eyelids remained sealed shut while the eyes developed safely beneath them. Now, your baby can begin detecting light. Although the womb remains relatively dark, bright light directed at the mother's abdomen may be perceived. The retina continues maturing. Visual pathways inside the brain become increasingly sophisticated. Meanwhile, hearing remains highly active. Your baby may become familiar with voices heard repeatedly throughout pregnancy. Many parents enjoy talking, singing, or reading to their baby during this stage. Week 27. Week 27 marks the final stage of the second trimester. Your baby weighs close to 1 kilogram. The brain is growing rapidly. Distinct grooves and folds begin appearing on the surface. These folds dramatically increase the brain's processing capacity. The nervous system continues refining control over body functions. Breathing movements become more coordinated. Although no air enters the lungs, your baby practices breathing by moving the chest and diaphragm rhythmically. These practice sessions are essential preparation for life outside the womb. The immune system also begins developing greater strength. Antibodies from the mother cross the placenta, providing early protection against infection. Your baby is becoming more prepared for the challenges of the outside world. Week 28. The third trimester begins. At 28 weeks, your baby weighs approximately 1.1 kilograms. Body fat starts accumulating more rapidly. The wrinkled appearance of the skin begins smoothing out. The face appears fuller. The cheeks become rounder. Eyelashes are clearly visible. The eyes can now open and close. Your baby experiences periods of wakefulness and sleep. Some researchers believe REM sleep may begin around this time. REM sleep is associated with dreaming. Although we can never know exactly what unborn babies experience, their brains are becoming capable of increasingly complex activity. Movements often become stronger and more predictable. Many parents begin noticing patterns throughout the day. Certain sounds, foods, or times of day may trigger increased activity. Week 29. At 29 weeks, your baby continues gaining weight rapidly. The muscles and lungs continue maturing. The skeleton is becoming stronger every day. Despite this growth, the bones remain flexible enough to support future birth. The brain generates billions of neurons. Communication between these neurons becomes increasingly sophisticated. The nervous system now controls body temperature more effectively. Body fat stores continue expanding. The baby's appearance is becoming much closer to what parents will eventually see at birth. Although still developing, the transformation from fragile fetus to newborn is accelerating. Week 30. 30 weeks marks another major milestone. Your baby now weighs approximately 1.4 kilograms. The skin appears less translucent. More fat beneath the surface creates a smoother, healthier appearance. The brain continues rapid expansion. Neural pathways associated with learning and memory strengthen. The baby frequently practices movements including grasping, stretching, yawning, swallowing, and sucking. These actions may seem simple, but they represent important preparation for feeding and survival after birth. Inside the womb, every movement serves a purpose. Every kick strengthens muscles. Every swallow prepares the digestive system. Every breath-like motion trains the lungs. Your baby is rehearsing for life. And there we have it, how your baby looks between weeks 21 and 30. In the next part, we will explore weeks 31 to 40, labor preparation, and a final countdown to birth. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share so you can be notified when the next part drops. Thank you, and I will see you in the next one. Your baby's final weeks before birth begin now. Week by week, right up to the moment of birth. By the end of this video, you'll see how a tiny life inside the womb transforms into a fully developed baby ready to enter the world. So stay with me until the end. Because week 40 is where this incredible journey reaches its most unforgettable moment. Week 31. At week 31, your baby has entered the final stretch of pregnancy. Measuring over 40 centimeters in length and weighing around 1.5 kilograms, your baby now looks very much like a newborn. One of the biggest changes happening this week is rapid brain development. The surface of the brain, once relatively smooth, is becoming increasingly folded and wrinkled. These folds create more space for billions of neurons and help improve the brain's processing power. Your baby's senses continue improving as well. The eyes can now focus more effectively. The ears are fully developed and capable of recognizing familiar sounds. Your baby may already recognize your voice, your heartbeat, and even certain songs heard repeatedly throughout pregnancy. Beneath the skin, layers of fat continue accumulating. These fat stores will help regulate body temperature after birth and provide an important source of energy during the first days of life. Inside the womb, your baby spends much of the day sleeping, waking, stretching, and practicing movements. Although space is becoming limited, your little one remains surprisingly active. But next week, another important milestone occurs as your baby's body begins looking even more like the newborn you will soon meet. Week 32. Welcome to week 32. Your baby now measures approximately 42 centimeters and weighs close to 1.8 kilograms. At this stage, the body is becoming rounder and fuller. The wrinkled appearance of the skin begins disappearing as more fat develops beneath the surface. If you could see your baby inside the womb today, you would notice a face that looks remarkably similar to the one you will see after birth. Tiny fingernails have reached the fingertips. Hair continues growing on the head. Eyebrows and eyelashes are clearly visible. Meanwhile, the skeleton continues hardening. Although the bones are becoming stronger, they remain flexible enough to assist during delivery. The lungs continue producing surfactant, a special substance that helps keep the tiny air sacs open after birth. Without surfactant, breathing would be extremely difficult. Your baby is also becoming more aware of the surrounding environment. Changes in light, sounds, and movement may trigger reactions inside the womb. Some babies become more active when they hear familiar voices. Others respond to music or gentle touches on the mother's abdomen. Every day, your baby becomes more prepared for life outside the womb. And next week, growth accelerates even further. Week 33. At week 33, your baby weighs approximately 2 kilograms and continues gaining weight rapidly. The body is becoming stronger. The muscles are becoming more coordinated, and the nervous system is refining its control over movement. One fascinating development this week involves sleep. Researchers believe babies experience different sleep stages while still inside the womb. These sleep cycles include periods of deep rest and periods of increased brain activity. Some scientists even suggest that dreaming may begin before birth. Although we cannot know exactly what unborn babies experience, their brains are certainly becoming more active and sophisticated. The immune system is also receiving support from the mother. Protective antibodies cross the placenta and help prepare your baby's body for the outside world. These antibodies provide valuable protection during the first months after birth. Meanwhile, space inside the womb continues shrinking. Large flips become less common. Instead, you may notice stronger kicks, stretches, and pushes. Each movement is a reminder that your baby is growing larger every day. But next week brings an exciting milestone involving survival outside the womb. Week 34. Week 34 marks an important point in pregnancy. If your baby were born now, there would be an excellent chance of survival with proper medical care. That is because many of the body's major systems are approaching maturity. Your baby now measures approximately 45 centimeters and weighs around 2.3 kilograms. The lungs continue developing rapidly. Although they are not yet fully mature, they are becoming increasingly capable of functioning independently. The skin appears smoother than ever before. Most of the fine hair known as lanugo begins disappearing. Some babies lose much of this hair before birth, while others retain small amounts until after delivery. The fingernails continue growing. The hair on the scalp becomes thicker. The face becomes fuller as additional fat develops beneath the skin. Inside the womb, your baby spends time practicing essential skills such as swallowing, sucking, and breathing movements. These activities may seem simple, but they are critical preparations for newborn life. And while your baby is becoming stronger, another important change is about to occur. Soon, your little one may begin moving into the position needed for birth. Week 35. At week 35, your baby weighs approximately 2.5 kilograms. The kidneys are fully developed. The liver is functioning efficiently. Most major organs are nearly ready for life outside the womb. One of the most important developments involves body temperature regulation. The growing fat beneath the skin helps your baby maintain warmth after birth. This is especially important because newborns cannot regulate temperature as effectively as adults. Inside the womb, your baby continues swallowing amniotic fluid every day. This helps the digestive system practice its future role. The brain remains one of the fastest growing organs in the body. Millions of neural connections are forming continuously. These connections will eventually support learning, memory, language, and emotional development. Many babies begin settling into a head-down position during this stage. This position is considered ideal for delivery. But next week, your baby will begin looking almost exactly like a newborn. Week 36. Welcome to week 36. Your baby now measures approximately 47 centimeters and weighs around 2.7 kilograms. At this stage, many babies appear almost ready for birth. The skin is smooth. The cheeks are plump. The arms and legs are well developed. If you could compare your baby today with the newborn you will soon hold, the similarities would be remarkable. The lungs continue their final stages of preparation. The digestive system is ready. The circulatory system is prepared for the dramatic changes that occur after birth. Meanwhile, the womb feels increasingly crowded. Your baby may have less room to move, but movements should remain strong and noticeable. Many parents report seeing feet, knees, or elbows pushing against the abdomen. These moments often become cherished memories of late pregnancy. And next week, your baby officially reaches early term status. Week 37. At week 37, your baby is considered early term. This means many babies born at this stage do extremely well. Your baby weighs approximately 3 kilograms and continues gaining fat each day. The lungs are nearly mature. The brain remains under active development. In fact, important brain growth will continue throughout the final weeks of pregnancy. The protective coating known as vernix caseosa still covers portions of the skin. This waxy substance helps protect the skin from prolonged exposure to amniotic fluid. Many babies now spend most of their time in a head-down position. The body is preparing for labor. The uterus is preparing for delivery. And your baby is preparing for one of the greatest transitions in human life. But there are still important changes happening before birth arrives. Week 38. Week 38 brings your baby even closer to meeting the world. Your baby now weighs approximately 3.1 kilograms and measures close to 49 centimeters. The lungs continue their final maturation process. The brain and nervous system remain highly active. New neural connections form every day. These final weeks are extremely important for neurological development. The grasping reflex becomes stronger. Muscle coordination improves. Your baby continues practicing swallowing and breathing movements. The body stores additional fat that will provide energy during labor and the first days after birth. Inside the womb, space is now very limited. Yet your baby continues stretching, rolling, and moving whenever possible. The countdown is almost complete. Only a short time remains before birth. Week 39. At week 39, your baby is considered full term. This is a major milestone. Most organs are fully developed. The lungs are ready. The body has accumulated important fat reserves. The skin appears smooth and healthy. Your baby weighs approximately 3.3 kilograms, although individual babies may vary significantly. The placenta continues delivering oxygen and nutrients around the clock, but its job is almost finished. Soon, your baby will no longer depend on this remarkable organ. Soon, the lungs will take over. Soon, feeding will occur through the mouth rather than the umbilical cord. Soon, life inside the womb will become a memory. And as labor approaches, the anticipation continues building. Week 40. The journey is complete. 40 weeks ago, your baby existed as a single fertilized cell invisible to the naked eye. Since then, that tiny cell has divided billions of times. It has formed a brain, a heart, lungs, muscles, bones, skin, eyes, ears, and every organ needed for life. Now your baby measures approximately 50 centimeters and weighs around 3.4 kilograms. Every system is prepared for birth. The lungs are ready for their first breath. The digestive system is ready for its first feeding. The eyes are ready to see the world for the first time. The ears are ready to hear sounds without the protection of the womb. From a single microscopic cell to a fully developed newborn, the journey of human development is one of nature's greatest miracles. And now, that journey has reached its final chapter. If you watch this entire 3-part series from the very beginning, you have seen one of the most extraordinary transformations in human life. From the earliest weeks of development to the final moments before birth, every stage revealed something incredible about how a baby grows, changes, and prepares for the world. What begins as something invisible becomes a living, moving, developing human being. That is the miracle of life. That is the beauty of pregnancy. And that is the end of this journey inside the womb. Thank you for watching this series. If you enjoyed it, make sure to watch the earlier parts and subscribe for more videos like this. And before you go, tell me in the comments, which week amazed you the most?